Hello, my beautiful Sussex gang, and welcome back to the channel. Now, I have to say this right from the beginning. Sometimes a picture really does tell a story. And when Meghan Markle decided to share a rare collection of family photographs from the Sussexes' summer holiday, she didn't just give us a few cute vacation snapshots. She gave us something much more powerful. She gave us a glimpse into the life that Prince Harry and Meghan have spent years trying to protect. A life filled with family. A life filled with laughter. A life where Archie can explore the world with curiosity, where little Lilibet can enjoy the simple freedom of being a child, and where Harry and Meghan can actually be parents without every single family moment becoming a public spectacle. And Sussex Gang, that is exactly why these photographs are so meaningful. Because for a couple who have faced relentless scrutiny over nearly every aspect of their lives, these images feel like a quiet reminder, a real family. And this summer, Meghan gave the world a rare window into their world. The photographs reportedly capture moments from the Sussexes' summer holiday, including time spent in Portugal before Harry travelled to the United Kingdom. And honestly, the images tell a story that is very different from the endless narratives we are so often fed by certain sections of the media. Because look at what we actually see. We see sunshine, we see travel, we see children enjoying themselves, we see family memories, we see Harry and Meghan creating experiences for their children, and perhaps most importantly, we see a family that appears to be enjoying life on its own terms. And that, my Sussex gang, is the part I find most interesting. Because for years there has been an extraordinary obsession with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Where are they? What are they doing? What are they wearing? What are their children doing? Why aren't the children being shown? Why are they being shown? Why did they travel here? Why didn't they travel there? It sometimes feels as though the Sussexes cannot breathe without someone somewhere turning it into a headline. So when Meghan chooses to share something, I think we should pay attention to what she is actually sharing. Not what the tabloids want us to think she is sharing. Not what commentators want us to believe, but what is actually there. And in these photographs, there is something incredibly simple. There is family. There is joy. There is childhood. There is love. And there is a sense that Harry and Meghan are allowing their children to experience the world beyond the walls of royal expectations. One of the moments that immediately stands out is young Archie being pictured in the cockpit of a plane. Now, can we just pause for a moment? Because that is the kind of memory that children remember. The kind of experience that becomes a story they tell when they are older. Do you remember when I got to sit in the cockpit? That is childhood. That is curiosity. That is wonder. And for Archie, who has grown up under an extraordinary level of public interest, moments like that must be incredibly precious. Because children should be allowed to discover the world. They should be allowed to be curious. They should be allowed to have adventures without the entire planet dissecting every expression on their faces. And then there is little Lilibet. Another moment captures a playful scene involving Harry and his daughter, with the young princess being tossed into the air. And once again, you don't need a royal commentator to explain what you're looking at. You can see the joy, you can see the playfulness, you can see a father enjoying a moment with his child. And honestly, Sussex Gang, isn't that what this is really about? The Sussexes have often spoken about the importance of family and protecting their children from unnecessary exposure. So when Meghan occasionally chooses to share a glimpse, I think it is important to understand the difference between and Those are two completely different things. The Sussexes can share a photograph without giving the public unlimited access to their children. They can celebrate a holiday without turning their family life into a reality show. They can show happiness without explaining every detail of their personal lives. And perhaps that is the balance they have been searching for all along. Privacy does not mean invisibility. Privacy means having the power to decide what you share and when you share it. And that brings us to another fascinating part of this story. The summer holiday reportedly included time in Portugal before the Sussexes' wider travel plans brought them closer to the United Kingdom. Now, this is where I think the story becomes even more interesting, because the Sussexes' relationship with the United Kingdom has been complicated. There is the country where Harry was born, the country where Meghan joined the royal family, the country where their relationship became the centre of a global media storm. And yet, despite everything that has happened, Harry still has deep personal connections to Britain. And so do his children. There is history there, there are memories there, there is family there, and there is also the legacy of Princess Diana. So when we see Harry and Meghan creating memories across different places and cultures, it becomes clear that their children are growing up with a unique understanding of where they come from. They are not being raised simply as royal children. They are being raised as individuals. Children who can experience different countries, different cultures, different communities, different ways of life. And that, in my opinion, is one of the greatest gifts parents can give their children. Perspective. The ability to understand that the world is much bigger than one palace, one institution, or one country's expectations. And perhaps that is why these photographs resonate so strongly with the Sussex Gang. Because they represent freedom, not freedom in the abstract, but freedom in the everyday sense. The freedom to take your children on holiday, the freedom to create memories, the freedom to laugh, the freedom to explore, the freedom to be a family. And I think that is something we should never underestimate. Because when Prince Harry and Meghan stepped away from their roles as senior working royals, the conversation was dominated by what they were supposedly losing. The titles, the palace, the royal lifestyle, the official duties. But what if the more important question is what they gained? What did they gain by taking control of their own lives? Perhaps they gained the ability to raise their children differently. Perhaps they gained the ability to travel without every moment being orchestrated around royal schedules. Perhaps they gained the opportunity to build a family identity that belongs to Harry, Meghan, Archie and Lilibet. And perhaps, most importantly, they gained the ability to decide what their children will remember about their childhood. Because, let's be honest, children don't grow up remembering newspaper headlines. They remember experiences. They remember laughter. They remember holidays. They remember adventures. They remember the people who made them feel safe. And if these photographs show us anything, it is that Harry and Meghan appear to be determined to give their children exactly that. Memories. Beautiful memories. And then we have the inevitable question. Why did Meghan share these photographs now? Well, I think there are many possible reasons. Maybe she simply wanted to celebrate a beautiful family summer. Maybe she wanted to share a few personal moments with the people who support her. Maybe she wanted to give her audience a glimpse of what has been happening behind the scenes. Or perhaps there is no grand strategy at all. Perhaps it was simply a mother sharing photographs from a memorable family holiday. And you know what? That possibility is perfectly fine too. Not everything Meghan does needs to be treated like a political chess move. Not every Instagram post needs to be analysed as if it were a royal constitutional document. Sometimes a family photograph is just a family photograph, and maybe that is precisely what makes it so refreshing. But there is another layer here that I think deserves attention. For years, the Sussexes have been accused of being too private. Then, whenever they share something, they are accused of sharing too much. They have been criticised for speaking. They have been criticised for remaining silent. They have been criticised for leaving. They have been criticised for returning. They have been criticised for working. They have been criticised for taking time away. At some point, Sussex Gang, we have to ask ourselves, or is the real issue that certain people simply cannot accept that Harry and Meghan are making their own choices? Because there is a difference, a very big difference. The Sussexes have chosen a life that is not controlled by the traditional royal machine, and that means their decisions are going to be interpreted differently. Every holiday becomes a statement. Every photograph becomes a message. Every appearance becomes a strategy. But perhaps the most powerful statement they can make is actually the simplest one. We are raising our children. We are making memories. We are building our future, and we are doing it together. That is what I see when I look at these photographs. I don't see a couple desperately trying to prove anything. I see two parents enjoying their children. I see a family that has experienced enormous public pressure and yet continues to create moments of happiness. I see a young boy fascinated by the world around him. I see a little girl enjoying a playful moment with her father. I see a mother documenting memories, and I see a father who, despite everything that has happened in his life, still seems determined to be present for his children. And isn't that the real story? Not the speculation, not the outrage, not the endless commentary. The family, the children, the memories, the future. And perhaps this is where the Sussex story becomes bigger than the royal family itself. Because Harry and Meghan are building something that doesn't depend entirely on what happens inside the palace. Their children's lives will not be defined solely by royal tradition. Archie and Lilibet will grow up with their own experiences, their own memories, their own identities. And whatever people may think about Harry and Meghan, that is something every parent can understand. You want your children to have a childhood. You want them to feel loved. You want them to explore. You want them to laugh. You want them to experience the world. And you want them to have memories that belong to them. So perhaps these photographs are not really about showing off a glamorous holiday. Perhaps they are about something much more meaningful. They are about a family reclaiming the ordinary. Because for Harry and Meghan, ordinary family life is anything but ordinary. Their names alone can turn a private moment into an international headline. And yet, here they are, still trying to create those ordinary moments. A holiday, a beach, a pool, a cockpit, a playful moment between a father and daughter, a family exploring the world together. And maybe, Sussex Gang, that is the victory. Not the headlines, not the arguments, not the endless battles with commentators, but the fact that, despite everything, Harry and Meghan are still creating a life that feels like their own. A life where their children can smile. A life where family comes first. A life where the past is acknowledged, but the future remains open. And if these summer photographs have reminded us of anything, it is this. The Sussexes are not frozen in the moment they left the royal family. They are not frozen in the headlines of 5 years ago. They are not frozen in the narratives created about them. They are moving forward. They are raising their children. They are building their lives. And they are creating memories that no newspaper headline can take away. So, Sussex Gang, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Meghan sharing these rare summer holiday moments? Do you think it is refreshing to see Harry and Meghan giving the world a glimpse into their family life while still maintaining boundaries around their children's privacy? And which moment stood out to you the most? Archie getting a glimpse inside the cockpit, Lilibet enjoying her playful moment with Harry, or simply seeing the family enjoying their summer together? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you are proud to be part of this Sussex community, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and share this video with someone who needs a little more positivity in their timeline. And of course, if you enjoyed today's video and want to support the channel, you can always leave a super thanks. Because here on this channel, we are not interested in tearing families apart for entertainment. We are interested in looking beyond the noise, beyond the headlines, beyond the manufactured outrage, and seeing the human beings behind the stories. Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, Archie, Lilibet, a family creating memories, a family choosing love, a family moving forward. And perhaps that is the most beautiful picture.